second.
All right, so let's talk about fears. I know you were telling me a story about an agent telling you that you had already asked everyone an agent was telling you I'd already asked everybody in my sphere, it's tapped out. And I was asking you how many people are in that sphere?
Yeah, so I had an agent tell me last week, dead serious, Tim, I've asked everyone I know. My sphere is tapped out.
Yes, there was like, how many people were in the sphere?
So I asked him, and she said maybe like 200.
Okay, 200, and she's tapped out.
Meanwhile, you've interviewed agents on this podcast who get 40 referrals a year from a sphere of 150.
Yeah, same size database, way different results.
So either she's the unluckiest agent in America.
Yeah, or something else is going on.
So that's what we're talking about today. Your sphere is not tapped out. You're just working it the wrong way.
Yeah, I think that's right. We've got the receipts from 700 episodes that I've done of top producer interviews. So we will talk about exactly what agents are doing. Welcome to Coffee Talk, everybody. So Tim, before we get into, we're going to give 3 different plays here about what agents should be doing with their sphere. But let's first diagnose what's actually happening when agents say their sphere is tapped out. Because I hear it all the time. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, and it's never actually true.
Yeah, it really isn't true, because what's really happening is they asked for business once, they got rejected or crickets, and then they're like, I'm not calling that person back.
Yeah, the one and done approach.
Right. Or they're, they only count their close friends and their family as their sphere. They're ignoring 200 other acquaintances who might actually send them business.
And option 3, and this is the big one.
Yeah, they're staying in touch, but they're staying in touch wrong, right? They're not actually doing the right stuff.
Bingo. They're actually they're actually sending market updates no one is reading. They're posting listings nobody cares about. They're actually creating no value.
Yeah, and here's the data on this. So NAR says 74% of buyers and sellers would use their agent again, but only 14% actually do, which is shocking, right?
Yeah, 74 would, 14 do.
Yeah. So what's the gap here? So we call it the tapped out problem. So these people, they don't hate you. They just forgot about you.
So today we're going to dive into and give you 3 plays, not theories, plays from top producers we've interviewed who never run out of referrals from the same sphere that everyone calls tapped out.
Yeah, and by the way, we just built a tool for this. I did, rather, or me and Claude, I should say. It is a we. So thank you, Claude. Actually, mostly Claude. It's called Unstuck Agent, and I will be sharing it with everybody, where it is basically a web app you go to and you tell it your biggest current problem in real estate. You know, you don't have enough leads, you're not converting your leads, you need to upgrade your skills, your systems aren't right, those kind of problems. And then it actually will point to episodes in the 700 that I've done that will actually solve those problems. And not only will it point to it, it will go right to the timestamp and tell you this is where you can go to get that problem solved. So I'll be sending that to you in the next week or so. I'm just putting the finishing touches on it.
So it's kind of like having a search engine for 700 hours of top producer advice.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so more on that later. So today, right now, let's get into the plays with your sphere.
All right, play number 1. And DJ, this one totally blew my mind when I first heard it.
Yeah, this is called the 5-5-5 touch.
Okay, so let's go ahead and break it down.
Yeah, so this comes from a top producer in Phoenix who is doing 80 plus transactions a year. 90% of those are referrals. So 80 plus transactions a year, 90% referrals. She never cold calls, never buys leads.
90% referral. Wow.
Yeah. Here's her system. Every single day, every day, she picks 5 people from her database and does 3 things. So
5 people, 3 things.
1, she sends out a genuine personal text. Hey, just checking in. She that's not really what she does. What she does instead is instead of saying just checking in, she'll say something like, "Hey Sarah, I saw your daughter's soccer team won state on Facebook. That's incredible. You must be so proud." So she researches people on social media and sends them a specific text about something that's going on in their lives.
Okay, so she's actually paying attention to people's lives.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing too is she comments on something on social media, but she also then goes into social media and goes on a different post for that same person, and doesn't just like the post, actually comment. So she sends them a text, then she finds something else that's different and sends them a comment in social media. Just an observation.
Wow, so it's all about engagement. She's not just liking and doing drive-by likes.
Right. And then third, she sends a quick voice memo. 30 seconds. Now, these are voice texts, right? Or voice. She does a video chat. So, or not video. I don't even know what to say. Video text, I guess is what they're called. So sends a quick video text, 30 seconds, just being a human.
Wait, so like voice memo? Like
Well,
audio?
She does video text. So it takes 30 seconds. And it stops people in their tracks because rarely do we get video texts from people, right? So nobody does this. So when's the last time you got a video text from someone you knew?
I can't even remember.
Yeah. So she does this 5 people a day. So it's 25 people a week, 100 a month. In a year, she's touched her entire database 12 times. Now, I want to make this point. She doesn't do all 3 of these on the same day. She just spaces it out throughout like the week, right? So she picks these 5 people, and over the next 7 days, she's going to give them one text message that lets them know that she's checking in on them, seeing what they're up to. She's also going to comment something on their social media post, and she's going to send them a video text all within a week.
So she's not just staying in touch. She's actually building relationships.
Right. And here's the math. So let's say, what she was telling me is she's touched someone 6 times in meaningful ways. What happens is her real estate referral rate tripled. So it was just incredible. Like 6 touches, not 6 years, 6 touches.
So with the agent that has a tapped out sphere of 200.
Right. She just needs to do more outreach, right? 5, 5, 5. Every single day, she gets everyone in her database in less than 3. She gets everyone in her database for 200. It would be every 3 months, right? So by month 6, her phone's going to start ringing.
Wow. So why do more agents not do this?
Yeah, it's not scalable. It's not sexy. It's just work, right? It's the highest ROI work you can do, but it doesn't you don't get that instant gratification from it, I think. And that's why agents are like, oh, it's going to bear fruit 90 days down the road, 180 days down the road, a year down the road.
Okay. So it's a long play. So, yeah. Okay, play number 2. And this one is for the agents who say, I've already asked everyone for referrals.
Yeah, this is a classic one. I've already asked.
Yeah. So how's that actually working for you?
Yeah. So here's the problem with how most agents ask for referrals. They say some version of, do you know anyone looking to buy or sell?
So what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I think it puts someone on the spot. And not only do they have to search their brain in real time for someone in their life, like who is actually needing a real estate agent, it's a tiny window.
It's kind of like asking someone, do you know anybody that's getting married this weekend?
Yeah, that's right. The window's too small, right? So here's what a top producer in Seattle does. Instead, she calls it the third-party referral ask.
Third party?
Yeah. Yeah, she never asks about real estate directly, which I love. She asks about life changes. Listen to the script. Okay, here we go. So, hey, I'm reaching out to my favorite people, and you're definitely one of them. I'm curious. Hey, who do you know who just had a big life change in the past few months? New baby, new job, getting married, getting divorced, kids leaving home, retiring. Anyone come to mind?
So she's really not asking anything about real estate at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. She's asking about life. But what do all these life changes have in common?
They're all trigger moves.
Right. So all of them trigger moves. So new baby, need more space. New job, maybe relocating. Getting married, combining households. I just did that. Divorce, splitting households, kids leaving home, downsizing, retiring, moving somewhere, hopefully warm.
So she's asking for life-changing referrals, not real estate referrals.
Yeah, that's right. And here's the genius part. When someone says, oh yeah, my neighbor just retired, she doesn't pitch. She doesn't say like, hey, have them talk to me. She goes, that's such exciting news for them. Would it be okay if I drop them a quick note with some info about what homes in the area are selling for? No pressure, just figured it might be helpful.
She's offering value to a stranger through a very warm introduction.
And the original person, her sphere contact, now looks like a hero for connecting their friend with helpful information.
So the referral giver gets credit for being helpful, the potential client gets free information, and she gets an intro.
Yeah, it's a win-win-win. She says she gets 3 to 4 life-changing referrals for every 10 conversations she has, which is pretty amazing, right? That's like a 30 to 40% hit rate if you're lucky, I guess.
Versus what? 5% when asking, do you know anybody that's looking for a place?
Yeah. I think it's less than 5% when you ask somebody.
I'm going to be giving this out immediately to our brokers.
Yeah, it works. It's a great way to talk to people and actually ask about their lives and get referrals at the same time.
All right, so let's dive into play number 3. And this one is for the agents who haven't talked to their sphere in a while.
Yeah, right. We all have people like this in our database. We call this the dusty database situation.
Right, like it's been 6 months, a year since they reached out, and now it just feels awkward.
Yeah. Hey, I know we haven't talked since 2022. Do you have any referrals for me? Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work much.
No, probably not. But a top producer in Chicago, shout out to our hometown here. She calls the database resurrection campaign, which I love. Here's how it works.
Resurrection, I like that.
Yeah. So first rule, you never lead with real estate. You lead with value. So something useful that has nothing to do with buying and selling.
Like what?
Yeah, so this is so simple. So she creates what she calls, hey, I thought of you emails. Each one has something valuable attached, maybe a list of the best new restaurants in the neighborhood she's in or suburb or the city, a curated guide to summer activities for families, or a contractor I trust list for home repairs, a comparative guide to basically, anything that would be helpful to that particular person.
So stuff people actually want.
Yeah, and not only stuff people want, stuff people forward to their friends, right? So I think that's really the key. She's not sending market updates. She's sending things so good that people share them.
So she's staying in touch with useful content, not salesy content.
Yeah, right. And here's the resurrection part. So she picks 300 people from her database who she hasn't talked to in over 6 months. She sends them one of these value pieces every 2 weeks for 8 weeks.
Wow. So 4 touches in 2 months.
Remember, no pitching, no asking, right? Just value. Yeah. And then and only then she sends a 5th message that says, and I'll explain, I'm going to read this. I wrote it down. Hey, I've been sending you some things I thought you might find useful. Quick question. Would you rather I keep sending these or send them less often or take you off my list entirely? No pressure either way. I just want to make sure I'm being helpful and not annoying.
So she's giving them an out.
Yeah, it's great. And it really does 2 things. One, it forces a reply, right? Which is kind of brilliant. Even people who don't want the emails usually respond with like, yeah, take me off. But now at least you've got a conversation started.
So what else does it do?
Yeah, the people who say keep sending. Yeah, again, now you're able to, they just re-opted into your world, right? They're warm again. The people that are like, yeah, I'm not really into this, you just get rid of them, right? It's easy. But you could have a conversation and say, oh, I'm sorry, I'd really love to repair our conversation or our relationship, right? You could do that too. But people that said yes, you now have this new conversation like, hey, since you said you like these, I'm curious, like, hey, what's going on in your world these days? Although what I would do and what she does and I would change is I would send them a voice or video text at that point. maybe not right away, but maybe the next day say, hey, I saw your response. Thanks so much. Super excited to get back in touch with you. But she responds via email. I would do it via video text.
Okay. So it's permission-based re-engagement.
Yeah, she says she typically resurrects about 40% of her dead database using this approach. It's pretty amazing. So 4 out of 10 people come back to life.
Wow. So 40%. That is not a tapped out sphere. That's a gold mine that you have not been mining.
Right. So you just always have to think about it as, what value can I give this person? What can I give them that they might actually want? And how do I just keep providing it to them? So your sphere, I promise, is not tapped out. It's just sleeping.
Okay. So DJ, you mentioned something else earlier, the Unstuck Agent tool. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So I've been working on this for a few weeks. So this is a fun thing I was working on, because when I first started the podcast, I wanted to create a database, a library of content with evergreen content. So content that really would be helpful, no matter what year it was, with agents telling me how they became successful so that other people could replicate that same success. And I, ended up doing over 700 episodes. I don't remember most of them myself. So I started thinking, gosh, I have all this wealth of sort of information. And it's not like people go back and listen to 700 episodes. I wouldn't expect them to. And certainly they don't have the time to do that anyway. So I thought, what if I made like a searchable database where basically an agent could go and say, here's my problem that I'm having. Here's like my biggest problem. And I could point to a particular episode or a clip in an episode and help them get that problem solved.
So now we can search the library?
Yeah. So I built this tool. It's a web app. It's super simple. You go in, you click on your biggest problem, like my sphere is tapped out, or I can't get listings, or I'm working 80 hours and still struggling. Whatever your big problem is.
And then?
Yeah. So then what it does is it shows you 3 to 5 specific episodes where top producers solve their exact problem with timestamps. So you don't have to listen to me for 45 minutes to get to the answer. You could literally go right to the answer, make that problem go away real easy.
So instead of listening to 700 hours of content, hoping to find something useful.
Yeah, you basically tell us what you're stuck on and we point you to the exact episode. What's really cool is it first starts and you just start tapping on different categories. We identified basically there's 5 major realtor problems. And then beyond that, it gets more specific, because then we can drill down. We've actually identified almost 400 realtor problems that have been solved on the podcast. So it starts with 5, it ends up with 400. So you start tapping, and by about the 4th step, it only takes a few seconds. By the 4th step, I have a good idea of what you're looking for, but then we ask you, write us a little 1 or 2 sentence synopsis, because then I feed it into AI and I say, really drill down with this exact agent query, and it will really spit out. It only takes maybe 10 seconds to return. So it's pretty advanced. It's very cool. I'm very excited. It's not out yet, but if you're interested, you can drop a little note in the chat here. Or in the comments, and I will give you access. It's totally free to use. It's for my listeners and anyone really who is interested in getting help from some of these top agents.
So DJ, you've basically been building a personal coach powered by 700 top producer interviews.
Yeah. So that's it. It's almost finished. So I'll send it to you guys here in just a little bit.
Awesome. All right, let's land this, DJ. What's your one takeaway?
So the big takeaway from today is, I know you're going to want to say that this is not the case. I think we've made the case that it's true, but you do not say your sphere is tapped out. Remember, 15%, 10 to 15%. And you can ask ChatGPT, don't take my word for it. 10 to 15% of your sphere is going to need a realtor in the next 12 months. So you have people in there, but you've just been you've just been communicating with them not as effectively as you should, right? Or maybe you just stopped communicating with them. So pick one of these 3 plays, right? The 555, the third party life changes, or the value first resurrection. Do it for 90 days. Your phone will start ringing.
So mine is this: stop asking for real estate referrals. Start asking about life changes. Widen the window. Make the ask Easy.
Yeah, I'll tell you, one of my friends, Amy Duong Kim, she's a Compass agent out in the western suburbs. She makes dials every single day. She's amazing. She's been doing this forever. And all she does, and she's like, if I stop doing this, my phone stops ringing. She calls people and she goes, how's everything going? What's going on in your life right now? And then she'll say, this is her big one. She loves it. She goes, are you doing any home projects right now? Everybody's got a home project that they've either not started or started and stalled. She's like, is there a home project you haven't started that you want to, or is there something that you kind of gave up on, or you're having problems with something? As soon as they say yes, she's like, tell me about it. As soon as they tell her, she's like, okay, I'm going to get you, I know the person that can solve this for you. I'm going to send them over to you, right? It's brilliant. It's so simple. She does that. I mean, she doesn't just make that call, but that's like her main one if she doesn't know what else to call somebody about. I'm like, that's amazing because everybody's got a home project. So there's always reasons to call people and reach out to them. But if you're stuck on anything in your business, whether it's lead gen, conversions, mindset, whatever, drop us a comment. Let us know what you're struggling with, because we can point you to we can point you to not only episodes I've done on the podcast, Keeping It Real, but we can actually do a whole episode for you here in the future.
Yeah, so that's the Unstuck Agent.
Yeah, so go out and touch 5 people in your database today, right now, before you do anything else.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, DJ, and we'll see everyone next week.
All right, see you next week.